The Vietnam War, a prolonged conflict that lasted from November 1, 1955 to April 30, 1975, stands as one of the most pivotal events in 20th century history. The war began as a struggle for independence from colonial rule by the Vietnamese people under the leadership of the Communist Viet Minh, who sought to overthrow French colonial forces. With the end of World War II, tensions rose, leading to the decisive Battle of Dien Bien Phu in 1954, which resulted in the French withdrawal from Vietnam. Following the Geneva Accords, Vietnam was temporarily divided at the 17th parallel into North Vietnam, led by Ho Chi Minh and the Communist government, and South Vietnam, headed by the anti-communist leadership of Ngo Dinh Diem. The division was intended to be temporary, pending nationwide elections, which never took place, leading to an escalating conflict. The United States, fearing the spread of communism in Southeast Asia, a perspective shaped by the Cold War and the domino theory, began supporting the South Vietnamese government both financially and militarily. This support intensified under President John F. Kennedy and later, Lyndon B. Johnson, who escalated U.S. involvement following the Gulf of Tonkin incident in 1964, which allegedly saw North Vietnamese forces attacking U.S. Navy ships. American troop presence peaked in 1968 with over 500,000 soldiers, sparking significant public protest and social upheaval back home. Simultaneously, the North Vietnamese, along with the Viet Cong in the south, utilized guerrilla warfare tactics and received strategic aid from the Soviet Union and China. Major battles, such as the Tet Offensive, shifted public perception of the war in the United States. The war also saw significant brutality and tragic events, including the My Lai massacre, wherein hundreds of unarmed Vietnamese civilians were killed by U.S. Army soldiers. Domestic pressure, global condemnation, and substantial casualties eventually led to the U.S. pursuing a policy of Vietnamization under President Richard Nixon, wherein the goal was to withdraw American troops and transfer combat roles to the South Vietnamese forces. In 1973, the Paris Peace Accords were signed, leading to the withdrawal of remaining U.S. troops. However, the respite was short-lived as fighting resumed, culminating in the fall of Saigon to North Vietnamese forces on April 30, 1975, thus marking the end of the Vietnam War. The war left deep scars, resulting in the loss of over 3 million Vietnamese lives, more than 58,000 American lives, and extensive destruction of Vietnam's landscape. It also led to profound shifts in U.S. military and foreign policy, with lasting implications on national discourse about war, peace, and the ethics of intervention.